Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hope you're doing very well. If you're seeing my face for the first time, I'm Agbo Fiona, a first year PhD nursing student in the University of Alabama at Birmingham. So today I'm going to talk briefly about how to find a suitable program and how to prepare your application. If you want to do a master's, a PhD, an undergraduate degree, first of all, you need to find which options are there for you. You go to the school website you're looking at. I'm not talking only about UAB. I'm talking about searching for schools in general. Go to the school website you're interested in. Find your department of interest. If your area of interest is science, is sociology, is nursing, find that area of interest. Then you search the specific programs that your area of interest offers. When you search the specific programs, you find the one which aligns with your background. If you have a bachelor's degree, you find the one that aligns with your background. If you don't have a bachelor's degree, you find the one that aligns with your high school degree or your advanced level degree. You need to go through the requirements for this program you have identified first. Do not start an application process without knowing what is required of you. Do not start an application process without having everything you need handy. When I say everything you need handy, I don't mean you should have everything in your hands at the time. I mean, what you need to apply for the program should be reachable to you. You should be able to stretch your hand or two and get this. If their requirements do not align with what you have, you might want to look elsewhere. Do not start an application process and at the end of the day, you are like, oh no, I didn't know they needed this. I didn't know they needed that. You can be frustrating, and trust me, it can cause you to even give up. So it's good you know exactly what is needed first before you start the process. Go through all the requirements. Do you have the necessary transcripts they need? Do you have the necessary GPA that they are requiring? Do you have the necessary field of study that they need for that master's or that PhD program or that bachelor's degree program? You should make sure you have this information before you start. Then, when all is said and done, you have identified that, yes, I have all this information that is needed. You can now go ahead to start your application process. The first thing you should do is request for official transcripts from your universities back home, because this usually takes a long time. And when they say the application deadline is on this date, it means by that date, all your documents, the official transcripts from your school, from your previous school, the reference recommendation letters from your referees, all of these should have been submitted in the application portal by the deadline. It doesn't mean you complete your application, you have not submitted these documents and you'll be considered. No. If you don't have all these documents submitted by the deadline, either your application will not be reviewed or it will be rejected altogether. You might have to start again from scratch. So before you start the application, you need to make sure you know the deadline. Prepare yourself. It's always better to prepare the things ahead of time, submit ahead of time. Overestimate that, okay, it's going to take even longer so that you start preparing early. Don't wait until the end, towards the end of the deadline before you submit. It's always better to submit well ahead of time. Know that some of these programs offer scholarships, and these scholarships are offered on a first come, first served basis. So when you submit your application and it's good, it's outstanding, you might be lucky to get a scholarship. But then if you do it late, maybe all the scholarship spots must have already been taken. So you need to make sure you submit well within the deadline. Now check, do you need recommendation letters? Most often you need to prepare your recommendation letters well ahead of time. Reach out to the people who send recommendation letters on your behalf. Let them know you're applying to UAB and you want to do this program. And trust me, most often recommendation letters are written by you, the student, because you know yourself better and you know exactly what the program requires. So when you write these recommendation letters and send it over to your reference, they will review it and then approve and submit in the application portal. So you want to make sure your recommendation letter goes into the portal well ahead of the deadline. With respect to your curriculum vitae, make sure you use a US standard curriculum vitae. You go online. When you go online, you search US standard curriculum vitae for your field of study. You'll find something related that you can use. Make the Google your best friend. If you need sample motivation letters, sample recommendation letters, go to Google, ask, and you will get samples that you can model. And whenever you do this motivation letters, whenever I do this recommendation letters and statement of purpose, make sure you give it to someone or one or two people who are knowledgeable about this area to read through, to provide you feedback. Most often when you write, it's very perfect in your eyes, but someone else who is neutral can easily read and tell you, okay, you need to adjust this or change this to this way. So it's very important to write and submit to others so you get feedback. So that's the reason why you should start your application pretty early, so that you can get all of these things done and you submit a nearly perfect application. Then you want to make sure that you have everything needed to start the application process. Start the application, fill in all the rubrics, submit everything that is needed to submit, and put everything in prayers and wait for the feedback. So it's very important to go through the application process systematically. Make sure you do the first things first. And the first thing I always recommend is getting your transcripts, your official transcripts from your school to UAB or to any university you're applying at. And that's if the school specifically requires official transcripts. If the school requires GRE scores, you want to make sure you get these scores way ahead of time and you use them, you upload them in your application portal. If they require Well Education Services evaluation, you want to make sure you do your evaluation well ahead of time, get your scores and report and submit as well. So you do not want anything to delay you. So if you want to apply for a school, you don't just wake up one beautiful morning and you're like, I want to apply for a school. It's a process. You need to prepare yourself. You need to prepare psychologically, and you also need to prepare everything you need for the application process. So if you plan to apply for a program, for instance, next year, January, by this period, if they need IELTS results, you need to prepare to take your IELTS, prepare to take your GRE or SAT score tests if it is needed. You need to also prepare to do your WES or Well Education Services credential evaluation ahead of time, so that when it's January or before January, everything will be done and everything will be submitted. And you want to make sure you submit an updated CV as well. Do not submit a CV that reflects what you were doing 5 years ago. Submit a CV that shows what you're doing now, currently. And do not use a one-size-fits-all curriculum vitae. Make sure you use a CV that is tallied to the program you're applying to, so that your application will stand out and you get an admission. And if possible, why not even a scholarship? So thank you so much for watching. If you have additional tips and ideas about how someone can go through the admission process for a school, please leave it below in the comments. If you have not subscribed to this channel, come on, what are you waiting for? Please show us support. It's free of charge. Just hit the subscribe button, turn on your notification bell, because we have a lot of videos coming your way, and give this video a thumbs up. See you in the next videos. Bye.